Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Who Dares Wins. I'm JP, and I hope you can see this, you know, video. I hope it's coming in clear. Um, but something that I learned today is that, man, so uh, it's kind of hard to share, but like I think I need to share. So, like, one of the things is about being vulnerable, right? So in 2021, I had this accident. Part of it was like I had a brain injury, and one of the things that I've thought about is like, I don't really consider that I had a brain injury because I feel like I navigate real well. I talk with people, and I think for the most part, I'm present in my conversations. But I'm in graduate school, and I'm in graduate school for Christian leadership, and so like as the semester's coming to an end, and one of the things that I noticed is that when it came to writing these papers, when it came to doing a philosophy paper on Christian leadership the other night, and a couple other projects, like studying and preparing for like exams, I noticed that it don't come to me like as easy as it used to. I used to consider myself a writer. Like I used to consider myself someone that enjoys writing and like writing and with detail and you know a journaler, just always writing journals and keeping a journal, to the point where, like, my sister, for a gift for my birthday or Christmas, it would always be a journal. And usually a journal with, like, Jeremiah 29:11 on it, which is my favorite scripture. Um, but this is what I have realized, and I needed to be real humble about it, and I'm making this video because, um well, one, because, whatever, I'm just making it because I can. But I'm making it because I was really thinking, like, there probably are people out there, watching, you really take for granted that you're gonna always have the answers. You take for granted that, you don't have to prepare. Like, you don't have to study. You don't have to do your due diligence. School or academics comes to you easily. You might be a traditional student. You might be someone who, is bright. You know what I mean? You might have gone to good schools, good high schools, good experiences in your life. And then you might be a person who was similar to me, right? Who didn't have always good experiences and always good experiences in school, you know, grew up in special ed, diagnosed with ADHD and ADD and taking Ritalin when I was a kid, before in high school, my friends were snorting it and everything, trying to get like, you know, like high from it. Um, and so when you don't have a good, easy time with school, you study and you prepare and you work hard because you know that it wasn't an easy road for you. But how many know, and I'm just like exposing myself, but how many know that over time it actually becomes easier? You start to become um you start to be able to learn easier. You learn how to study. You learn how to identify what needs to be highlighted, written down, and used for an upcoming paper, upcoming exam. And then you take it for granted. You start to take it for granted. Because you take it for granted, you get sloppy. And then what happens with me, is you get hit by a car and you nearly die, and you get um like a like an assault or something to the head, and you're in a coma, and then you're recovering from a coma, right? And you're seemingly better. And then the things that you used to think were always going to be available, that were always going to be um at your like you could just reach out and grab a hold of it, right? You just reach out and grab hold of your critical thinking skills. You could reach out and grab a hold of a hypothesis, right? The ability to make an educated guess after a collection of insights and intelligence and research and data. Um, or in a completely different way, right? Just like being able to engage in a conversation that requires critical thinking. And although you're able to be critical, you're not always able to articulate these facts or these truths with clarity. You don't even remember the authors. You don't remember the journals, the articles, the movies, the TV shows, the songs that got you to where you're at, to have the understanding that you have, the personality that you have. And so what happens is now you've experienced a brain injury. Now you've experienced like a traumatic event and you've done work to get better, but you haven't done work when you realize or start to acknowledge that you're not learning like you used to. You're not thinking like you used to. Things are kind of blurry. And so instead of working harder and being more diligent so that you can continue to excel and be excellent, you sleep on it. You take it for granted. Consume television, consume TikTok, consume text messages or dopamine hits, you know, and your intelligence and your critical thinking takes a hit. And so I found myself in this situation where I had no idea how to write this philosophy paper. And as I began to write it, I was able to have an idea of how to do it. But I realized it was going to take a lot longer. And so I requested an extension. I don't think I'm going to get it. But they did give me access to resources for people experiencing, you know, disabilities or challenges, you know? And I never saw myself that way. I never saw myself as a person who would say I have a disability. Uh, I don't think I'm gonna always have this. I think part of my situation is that I need to plan and prepare and curb and create models in my life, you know, um, pathways in my life that ensure success. And in order to do that, I have to cut the dopamine hits in my life, the social media hits, the feel good experiences, and embrace the hard work of what it takes to actually be a graduate level student, a master of whatever it is I'm learning or you're learning. How can I really speak with authority over a matter when I haven't done my due diligence? When I'm realizing that like I'm getting shaky and blurry, right? Blurry. Well, the way to respond to that is actually to let people know and to do the work. You're gonna have to work harder. You're gonna have to work harder, but it's worth it. But it's worth it. And that's what I've learned. That's what I wanted to share with you. Is that if you're like me, you took your intelligence for granted. And before you know it, you're not able to think like you used to. You're not able to respond like you used to. So that doesn't mean like now it's over, like you're dumb or something like that. No, it means you're going to have to go about your life differently. I'm going to have to go about my life differently. I'm going to have to prioritize the things in my life so that I can be successful in those areas and not make excuses. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. See you around.